Just as important as environmental and social ecology is mental ecology. Mental ecology deals with the mind and with what the mind holds. Because many of the world visions, much of its values, its many prejudices, a large part of our aggression towards the environment, our carelessness with waste, are born from our minds. Because we have a mind that has been distorted by cultural habits, by vices endemic to those regions that share a relationship with the environment that does not safeguard biodiversity, that does not protect living things, that abuses its own population, keeping them in poverty and sickness. All of this is nascent within man. So what we need, and this is the key word for mental ecology, is to have new minds and new hearts. And this is a difficult task. Even Einstein said it was easier to split the atom than to remove a prejudice from someone's head. But we must do it. So we have two basic tasks. One is to remove the obstacles to reshape our thinking. And the second is to insert other orientation parameters so that we may follow the ecologically correct path. The first difficulty we come to, which is an obstacle, is our indifference. Let's imagine that we could allow things to go on as they are because the earth is rich, sufficiently abundant to solve its own problems. That is the worst thing we could do. Because if we leave the earth in the degraded state it's in now, undergoing a highly chaotic process, we are effectively moving towards a collective tragedy in human lives, in species, and in the very balance that gives rise to coevolution and cohabitation for all living creatures. So we must arrive at a state of awareness, follow global discourse, and change our ways. The second serious obstacle is consumerism. We are so used to consuming without thinking that there is a limit to what the earth can provide, and it's an individualistic consumption, not solidarity. Today we must consume in a rational, cooperative manner, thinking not only of ourselves, but of humanity as a whole. There are 800 million people starving and 1.2 billion obese people. They eat too much, which is pure consumerism. The third obstacle is inattention. We do not protect the balances found in nature. We are careless with our trash at home. We don't take care of the air we breathe, of the soil on which we tread. It's all contaminated, especially our food supplies, which, in large part, are full of chemicals. So we really must increase our awareness to care for these things and foster an ethic of diligence. But more important than removing obstacles is laying down new groundwork. This groundwork is constructed to overcome what we call anthropocentrism, the view that man is the center element of everything, and that if things have some worth, as it's said, it is to serve man. This view that humankind are the kings and queens of the universe is an erroneous idea. Only when the earth was 99.98% ready did man arrive on the scene. The earth did not need man to elaborate its immense biodiversity. It didn't need man to create the immeasurable beauty that we enjoy. Man appeared at the end, only recently, as a link in the chain of life. But it is a singularly unique link. It is an ethical link. And when we say ethical, it means a responsible link. And if it is responsible, then it is aware of the consequences of its actions. Therefore, we must comport ourselves in such a way so that our actions are not destructive to the environment, that they do not harm the plants, the soil, the animals. That is responsibility. Secondly, we must incorporate the value of cooperation. Today, the economy, there is nothing cooperative in the market, because it is governed by the logic of competition, and only the strongest survive. The weak are beaten and swallowed up by the others. When the supreme law of the universe is the cooperation of everyone for everyone, because everything is linked at every level, at all times. All beings then help each other to enable coexistence, to co-evolve and become strong. Because one weak being with another do not make two weak beings. They represent one strong being, and that's how nature behaves. So therefore, we must endeavor to cooperate, to take care of those who are weaker, integrate those that are excluded, deter humanity from separating into the haves, those who have everything, and those who don't even have enough to survive. So the human family must remain united. It cannot be separated into those who eat and those who do not. Thirdly, we must foster a sense of spirituality. Spirituality represents a set of values, significances that accompany our lives until our death, and which bring order and sense to our lives. Religions do not hold a monopoly over spirituality. It is profoundly human. Whenever man looks to the star-filled sky, he asks himself, who lies hidden behind the stars? When he stoops over a newborn child, he is filled with admiration for the mystery of life. When he asks, where do I come from? Where am I going? Where do I fit in the mix of beings? This is when spirituality arises. And spirituality is capable of perceiving that things are not haphazard, that there is a link that unites, joins, connects and reconnects all things, and that link is God, who has thrown a veil over reality. And the intelligent, open individual grabs hold of that God, is filled with reverence, and feels that he is in the hand of God. That God that provides for the entire universe. Therefore, cultivating spirituality causes generosity to develop in us. It fosters cooperation. It nurtures the capacity to coexist with those who are different, not to exclude anyone. And a wellspring of serenity surges in us to welcome life as it is, with its ups and downs. And one can accept death as the greater invention of life, as life moves on to the next level and continues to flourish. All this encompasses mental ecology, the key word for which is this: to change our minds and our hearts. A word from the Bible might inspire us. God said, I make this covenant with you and invoke all of heaven and earth. Seek life, you and all your descendants. Do not go in search of death. Choose life. If we choose life, cause life to propagate, to be strong, and continue strong on this planet.